bigger guy. I mean, anytime you're, working with those strength coaches and you're running and you're eating well and all the nutrition and lifting and just committed to getting better, you're going to look different when you're, an 18-year-old rolling into town. Now you've been there 2.5 years. You grow up and therefore you look the part. He definitely looks the part.
How different is this week for you this year, just because of Arch? I mean, how's the whole thing for you? Just, I don't know. How would you describe it?
We really just try to keep everything pretty normal, downplay any of the fluff and the nonsense that's out there. Selfishly, I'm excited. I've got all 3 of my kids working camp, and so May's involved in the behind-the-scenes stuff, and Hyde's he's in charge of Coach Gruden this week, which may be the hardest job of all. But Arch is excited to be able to throw tonight and be able to do all the things that a starting quarterback does. He's been around here a long time and waited patiently, and always fun. He's rooming with Garrett Nussmeier, so getting to see some guys that have been here and friends, and it's kind of a reunion for everybody.
He seems to handle it, and look, this is a dad question. He seems to handle it about as well as you could possibly handle all of it. Agreed?
I've been proud of the way. He hasn't spent a whole lot of time in front of the media. I mean, he hasn't, it's, but when he's been in front of the camera, I thought he's pretty genuine and pretty comfortable. So,
I wonder where he gets that from.
Really? We'll wait and find out. Wait until things go bad. Look out.
How excited are you, would you say, for this whole football season, for where you're about to go?
I love football season, and I certainly enjoy the break. I love not having to sweat it out and bite fingernails and grind every week. But it's fun. It always comes at just the right time. And when MPA kicks off, it's kind of football gets back in the blood and it's flowing, and you're not but a month and change away from summer practice starting. And so it should be a fun year. Exciting to be a parent and be in the stands and have somebody to root for.
Have there been conversations, Cooper, about the 2 years at Texas with Arch? Is it just wait and see kind of a situation, or is that looking too far down the line?
Say it again.
In terms of Arch potentially, draft eligible, is that too far?
No conversations about that.
Okay. And then for you, again, you mentioned how exciting it is coming up to this year for Arch as the starter. I mean, how excited are you to be, back in the stands? You got the big sun hats again. Hopefully a hot dog in hand. What's that going to be like?
Nothing better than college football. Saturday, the atmosphere, the cheerleaders, the band, just the sheer number of people that pack into DKR or any SEC town. And to open up at the Horseshoe and go to Columbus. I mean, what an unbelievable experience. So I know he's excited. His family's excited. He's got a lot of people supporting him behind him, and we'll see how it goes.
Is there a trip that you're most excited to go out and see? Other than the Horseshoe, perhaps?
There's some places I haven't been in a while. I went to see Eli play and Peyton play. I hadn't been to a game in Lexington. I hadn't been to a game in Gainesville since Peyton played. I've never seen a game in Starkville.
Really?
I will do that for the first time, and I think that's that's a part of it. I love college towns. I love the traditions and the fan base, and I have friends in every town. So it's that's part of the fun of being a parent. It's not just the game; it's the whole entire weekend.
I'm Devin Johnson from New Orleans. Peyton, your family has been a part of an initiative that has breeded success for a lot of young quarterbacks. What does that mean for you, considering you had such a great career?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're certainly proud of the ones that come here as campers and maybe go on to play college football, or Andrew Luck was a camper here, Russell Wilson was a camper here, Eli, but of course the college players that go in the NFL. But we're equally as proud as the high school kids that come here that go on to college and get into business and just say they learn some things here at the Manning Patsy Academy about life skills and business, right? So, look, we're proud ambassadors of high school football. We defend it, we protect it, and this is a great way. Look, it's hot here in Thibodaux. You don't hear one complaint from one kid from California or from Massachusetts, right? They come down here, they love football, they love to work, and so that's what we're proud of, trying to grow the game of football, trying to grow it, the high school game, and that's probably the best part about it. Okay, all right.
I got an Arch question for you. Going into his first year as a true starter at Texas, what's the the hope for him this year?
Oh, yeah, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask, about that, about predictions and whatnot. I pull for him. I try to be there as a resource for him. I know he's getting coached real hard, and just happy for him. He's getting a chance to get out there on the field this year. I know he's worked real hard, and looking forward to watching him play.
When you were the starter at Tennessee, you're probably the most famous person in the state your senior year. Arch is going into a pretty similar situation. What's that like as a college kid?
Yeah, I think it's changed a lot. Certainly with, I get asked by some of these college guys, hey, how do you handle cell phone cameras? There were no cell phones in the mid '90s, right? It was a good era, actually. So, look, I think you got to focus on the main thing. Look, you got to take care of school. I know Arch really likes. I think he chose Texas because of more than just the football program. He likes the school. He's got good friends on the team, off the team. His younger brother, Hyde, is there. And so I had a great experience at Tennessee. That's why I stayed for my senior year. I really enjoyed the college experience. And so, but, obviously they're working extremely hard in the summer. And so you feel like between school and between your workouts, there's not a lot of time to think about, too much more. And so I think that's what he's kind of focused on, it seems like. And I know he's looking forward to, September getting here.
The camp now.
First off, I just want to ask you, what's the excitement level now that you're at Oklahoma? Coming back to home, kind of.
Right.
But what's that excitement level like for you?
It's super high. It's freaking Oklahoma in the SEC. It's what every kid dreams of. And being close to home, it's all a blessing, and just being in this position is great.
I talked to you a little bit yesterday about, did you ever think that you'd be back down here?
Yeah.
When did you know that, hey, this was going to be a reality to end up at Oklahoma?
Probably when I actually entered the portal.
Okay.
Me and my family, right before I entered, me and my family had a little summit, at my sister's graduation. We talked about it, and it was like, man, this is real. I wanted to be a Coug. I love it obviously now, but I coming out of high school, I was like, I'm a Coug. And I loved it up there, but just took a little different path, which is great now.
Having gone through the spring now, getting ready for the fall, who were some of the guys that have stood out to you throughout this, this offseason?
Yeah, a lot of them, and we got some more new guys in the spring portal, which is huge. We got Jermichael Carter and Jaden Ott and then Tate Sandell. I don't know how much y'all do coverage on kickers. They're all really good.
He can boom it?
Huh?
He can kick it?
Yeah, he went to apparently it was a Manning camp for kickers, and he won the long, it was 67 yarder.
Yeah.
Unreal. But we got a lot of guys that are really good, and we just have a lot of good depth that can do a lot of different things.
Now, you're from the DFW area. You grew up knowing about the Texas-Oklahoma,
Right.
That game up there in Dallas. What's that excitement level like to run out of the tunnel where one side's rooting for you and the other side wants to basically rip your head off?
Right. You're a Texas fan, so.
I cover Texas.
Just kidding. No, I only went to one game growing up, and it was a good one. I don't really remember which one it was. It was
one Red River game?
Yeah, but I watched all of them. Obviously, watched all the highlights. And
there's nothing that compares to that game, right?
Yeah, no. There's been some. I watched some film on it, and you just see a sea of people, and it's like this is insane. And I am so excited. I've heard about the people flipping other people off, the little kids flipping the bus off. There's nothing like it.
And then one more question for you. Who's a guy on the roster that folks maybe don't know his name in the SEC outside of Norman, but by the end of the season, folks are going to say, oh, that was a heck of a player this year?
Probably some of our receivers, our new receivers, are real good. Cantes Lewis.
Okay.
He's new. He came from a small. He's at Wisconsin and came from a smaller school. And he's freaking good. Super smart. Is a veteran guy. And there's a lot. Talk about the O-line. Maybe people don't. Come after the O-line. Talk about the O-line a whole lot, but all those dudes on O-line. Colin Sexton, Eddie Pierre-Lewis, and we just got Jake. Dude, I still don't even know how to say his last name. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry, Jake. But we got him and Troy Everett and Fabechi and Derek Simmons is a freaking dog too. He came from Western Carolina. He's a dog. We got some dudes, and love shouting out the O-line, but there's a lot of guys.
It should be a fun year, John. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Taylen out at the Manning Passing Academy. First off, have you experienced heat like this before?
I would say similar, but it's different in Louisiana. You know, I'm from Dallas, so
Yeah.
you know, got humidity. It's really humid here, so that's what I got to get used to it.
Pride of Louisville. You just saw Damian Martinez get drafted.
Fighting farmers, go
Yeah,
farmers.
that's right. I'm from Allen, so
Okay, yeah.
I'm right around the road. But
I went to Allen for a little bit.
yeah. Anyway, going to 25. What's the expectation? What's the excitement like up there in Fayetteville for this offense, for this team in general?
You know, it's a lot of excitement here with me coming. You know, it's my second year in the offense, so I'm really excited. Got more understanding, more knowledge of the offense, and of course, more experience. You know, but you know, the mindset is just keep our head down. You know, keep working. You know, of course, a lot of people's not thinking about Arkansas, which is just fine, but it's going to shock the world. But that's what our mindset is.
What's that receiving room looking like? I know it's basically a brand new room. I mean, is there anybody standing out so far?
Yeah, it's a brand new room, but everybody's competing. You got Omega, you got Ish, you got Raylan, you got Cam. There's a lot of really good dudes. Of course, a lot of good players, but a lot of really great. And Jalen Brown, got a really great Andy G. But like I was saying, they're really good on the field, but even better people, offensively. And that's what I like. They mesh really well together and always working hard and always competing. That's what I like.
Is there a guy that maybe nationally isn't known very well, but by the end of the year, people are going to say, "Ooh, that's a heck of a ball player"? Kind of like how Andrew Armstrong was a year ago.
I mean, really, all of them have the potential to do it, but like it is in the preseason, we just got to go out and do it and go out and show. So, I mean, I feel like anybody can be that guy.
No doubt. And then, what's Texas getting in Brad Spence?
They're getting a dog, really. Flying around the ball, sideline to sideline. Smart player, real. He has a good feel of football and a good feel of really good instincts. So, he's definitely gonna make it tough on us. But I love Brad, and it's gonna be a great one. I'm excited for it.
Good deal. Thank you, Taylen. All right, so a couple new faces on the receiving core this year. What's kind of the spring been like, and also what's kind of the expectation coming into the season?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, we had to fill some roles that we lost in the transfer portal. We did that by getting Anthony Evans. We returned Jordan Mosley, guys like that. So being able to have some experience is good. And then the goals for this year is just to be able to go win as many games as we can. Obviously, we want to make it to a SEC championship. We want to go to the playoff. But we just got to take it 1 week at a time. That's the biggest thing for us.
Now, how are you health-wise?
I'm good. I'm fully healthy. Got hurt. It was in September. Yeah, it was. No. I think it was October.
Yeah.
Fully recovered now. Got healthy in 3 months. Started throwing in December. So it's been good. Obviously, when it happened, it was kind of tough, but being able to bounce back for me has been huge.
Now, of course, Anthony Evans from kind of that central Texas area. What's he been like? What's that first impression been?
He's been awesome. I mean, he's a great dude, first off. I mean, we hang out outside the building. He's a great dude. Makes plays on the field. Very instinctual, too. Knows how to find grass, find space. And he's just a stud to be around. I mean, he's a good person, and he's a good friend of mine.
And you're familiar with Texas, having been at Baylor beforehand. They come to Starkville this year.
Yeah.
What did y'all learn about Texas last year going from that game in Austin?
I think for us, that was a weird point just because I had just got hurt the game before. That was Mike's first start. But obviously Texas is talented. They're always a talented football team. We try to slow the game down a little bit we're usually an up-tempo offense, but we try to slow it down a little bit.
Did a great job in the first half.
Yeah, no doubt. And we played them well the first half and then just wasn't able to finish. And I think that was the key last year. We just weren't able to finish. We would get in the second half and just didn't finish the games we needed to. So I think this year that would be a big point.
And then one guy on the offense right now that folks aren't talking enough about nationally, but by the end of the year, going to be a pretty big name.
Man, I want to say our whole running back room.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, obviously you got Booth coming back, and he was a stud for us. But then we got 3 or 4 guys behind him that can come in and play too. And so I think one of those guys will pop off and have a good year. And I don't know which one it's going to be, but I would expect one of them to come and have a good year this year.
Good deal, Blake. Thank you.
Yeah.
The team?
Yeah, someone on Ole Miss who folks aren't talking about nationally, but by the end of the season, they'll know he'll be a household name.
Honestly, that could be anyone on the team.
Yeah.
I actually think like we're gonna have like that top dog mindset. Like we have a whole lot of doubters approaching the season. We're not really like in like the top caliber like level like as we were last year. Like the top team we had, and really just approaching everything for what it is.
And real quick, can you talk about why you stuck at Ole Miss? Why Ole Miss was the spot for you? That trust with Coach Kiffin.
Honestly, I actually trust him ever since I enrolled. Like I felt like that was the spot for me, and I felt like I could just progress and be a better quarterback.
Good deal. Thank you, Austin.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
not that the phone calls for, not with the cell phone, but you get to see him a lot more.
No doubt, yes, sir. It's been awesome. Just having to be able to come by and go to the regional baseball game and things like that. He's so close. It's been a really cool experience. And so God is so good. We're so blessed.
3 or 4 years before that. One of the big question marks for LSU this year, you got 4 linemen all into the NFL. That hasn't happened since 1947. So that's a new front for you. But Caden thrown back in the backfield, and hopefully a healthy Chris Hitt.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, we got some guys that are going to step up. Will, Emery, and Garrett and Miles. They set an example and they set an expectation. And I think the young guys in that room have really stepped up. They've accepted that expectation. Obviously we have some transfers as well in that room. So, I think Coach Davis does an unbelievable job of holding them to that expectation.